One nation. One nation, one Naija, oh. If you love Naija, ọwọ́ rẹ lókè. If you love Naija, make we celebrate.
Duk mai san Naija, ya daga hannunsa. Duk mai san Naija, ya daga hannunsa. Kulun Peter, shirin faci ba. Karan bana kai ne, ɗan shilan bana shi ne.
Thank you. You may be seated. Your Excellency, the Executive Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Professor Osinbajo, GCON. His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Bauchi State, Barrister Mohammed Abdullahi Abubakar. Distinguished Senator of His Excellency Godswill Akpabio, the former Governor of Akwa Ibom. Alhaji Nasiru Danu, the convener of this great occasion, and the Director of Logistics Buhari Campaign Organization. Barrister Festus Kayanu, SAN, the Director of Communications Buhari Campaign Organization. All eminent Nollywood superstars, megastars, stars, upcoming stars, and everyone here present. Our very eminent and amiable host, His Excellency the Executive Governor of Lagos State, the Action Governor himself, Akinwumi Ambode. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, looking from my vantage point here, I see a lot of beautiful people and eminent people here present. As time will permit, I will recognize most of you. I'm sure you'll agree with me, I can't recognize everybody. Those who do not understand this industry well do not know that this is one of the most ego-saturated environments in the entire world. Everybody has an ego. So we're going to try to manage that, and we're trying to recognize as many people as possible. Tonight is a gathering of two kinds of people. The one I call the egos, the other one I call the stars. The egos are the ones who represent government, and the stars are the ones who are of the creative industry. So it's a convergence of executive might and creative influence. And today our desire is to have a kind of discourse that will forge a unique platform that will translate, hopefully, into a cinematic superstructure for the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I will break that down. I will plead the indulgence of His Excellency to say that because of the peculiar nature of the artists here present, the average creative person likes an environment that is not so restricted and restrained. So with your permission, we will see if you can lift some what I call executive obfuscation and allow people to talk and respond to them accordingly will sit at the fountain of wisdom, which we know that you have. You are a man, a legal luminary, scholastic excellence, and someone who has administrative capacities beyond the shores of this country. So we recognize that. But the primary reason why we're here is an evening, ladies and gentlemen, with the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Put your hands together for him. Thank you. I will not belabor you with a lot of talk and what I call pompous polysyllabic verbosity. There's not a lot of verbiage I want to do. We will move expeditiously, sir, and ask one of the very conveners of this evening, a man you know very well. He's not coming here in that capacity, but he's coming here as a very wonderful person who believes in this industry. I'm talking about the entertainment industry. I'm calling him the one and only, a great activist, a legal luminary right now, Mr. Festus Keyamo, SAN, for the opening remarks. Put your hands together for.
This is a complete ambush. I never expected to make opening remarks. His Excellency, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Professor Osinbajo, SAN, GCO, the host governor, His Excellency, the Governor of Lagos State, His Excellency, the Governor of Bauchi State, and His Excellency, the immediate past Governor of Akwa Ibom State. Our friends, our stars, our entertainers, it is my special privilege and honor to welcome all of you to this very august occasion. You know, the stars and the entertainers, sometimes they make us laugh, sometimes they make us cry. They make us cry not because they hurt us, but because at times we can relate our individual lives, maybe our individual tragedies, to the plots that they act before us. These are people who come to our homes uninvited. We see them in our bedrooms every day. We see them in our, sitting rooms every day. And they are like part of our families because we see them every day in our homes. But somehow they are still so far from us. So they are so far and yet so near, all at the same time. And so it's actually a special pleasure to always come very close to them like this and hear from them, see them as normal human beings, hear their problems, relate with them, hear about their successes too, and of course plot a pathway for progress in their individual industries. And that's why we are here today. The moment we raised the idea to His Excellency the Vice President, he did not hesitate to agree with the idea. He told us that he had been looking forward all the while to meet these entertainers at very close quarters. If you know what I'm saying, you will agree with me. If you have seen the Vice President on so many occasions, the Vice President is an executive stand-up comedian. He has a wonderful sense of humor. And so expect some of that tonight here. And if we are giving out prizes to up-and-coming comedians and executive comedians, I think we should reserve some for the Vice President. He has a wonderful sense of humor. So ladies and gentlemen, enjoy the night. It's a night, that will not be so formal, will not be so tensed. There will be music, there will be comedy, there will be some food, some drinks, and then we'll talk about serious issues regarding the industry under this very relaxed atmosphere. So I welcome all of you, and I want to just ask you to enjoy the night. Thank you so much.
We're going to try to be as informal as we can be, forget the formal way that I have. If I had the permission, I would put on a t-shirt and all that to make it a bit more easy. But when you are 4 kings, you dress like one. And that's primarily the reason why you see me the way I am. But dress it down a little bit. And to pump up the volume, I do hear that we have a lot of, I need to do something. Who are the musicians in the house? Can you put your hands up for me, the musicians in the house? I can see Daddy Shoki here. We have a wonderful evening here. We have a special experience. You know, especially for those of us in the southern part of Nigeria, we have the assumption that only the people we hear in this part of the country that are popular. But there's some northern musicians who are wonderful and who have followers that runs into tens of millions on Instagram. Tonight we're going to hear them because they're part of us and they are with us, and you will appreciate the kind of music that they bring. But right right now, my honor and pleasure it will be to call on our host, the host governor, the action governor himself, Dr. Akinwumi Ambode, the executive governor of Lagos State. A round of applause for him as he comes forward. I do really think we can do better than that. Please pop up the party. Thank you. Thank you.
Your Excellency, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Your Excellency, the Governor of Bauchi State, Your Excellency, the former Governor of Akwa Ibom, distinguished senators and presidents, the leadership of Nollywood, and then the leadership of the artists also. Good evening, everyone. When I was coming, I was a little bit disturbed about the mode of dressing. So I decided, okay, it's a Friday night, I'll wear a pair of jeans. So I wasn't too sure whether the Vice President would be code compliant. So I tried to now, instead of putting on a t-shirt, to put on a loose top. But I'm happy that at least the people here, immediately after this one, there will be after party. So but obviously, just to welcome everyone here this evening, and to also, reiterate the fact that Lagos has always been, the hub for entertainment, will remain the hub for entertainment, and whatever it is that we can do together to re-emphasize the fact that there's so much that we can use to grow our GDP using the entertainment industry. We need to keep on talking about it. So this is just one of the evenings, and like we've already been briefed. The Vice President has approved that this is going to be a free, sincere, and frank conversation. So I reiterate that, and just what I've discussed with him. This is not new. We've done it before, or some other people have done it before. So what makes this evening totally different from other evenings that the entertainment industry has actually engaged government? So I just want to promise this time around that whatever it is that we have done as a government in the last 3.5 years, we've proven that the arts and the entertainment industry can actually create a convergence with the culture of the city and then promote tourism using that convergence to be able to grow the economy of Lagos. And we have proven that. So obviously, beyond our actions, there are still other things that have to do with the framework, the things that have to do with copyright issues, and the things that have to really do with access to capital to promote the entertainment industry. And I just think that in the next 1 hour, we should be able to tell ourselves the truth, which way can we actually push this synergy to create that convergence that grows the GDP, not only of Lagos, but technically the GDP of the whole country, and we'll be able to enjoy your income.
I grew up with the creed that honor to whom honor is due. So one more time, give it up for now by executive fiat, we've been given the permission to we go scatter this place tonight. You know that song? I didn't have a good voice, I don't bother. Yeah. But you know what to do until we're going to do what we know how to do best. Right here, right now, ladies and gentlemen, one of Nigeria's finest is waiting in the wings to go to entertain and make a little speech. But if you've heard him before, and I'm sure that everyone in this room have heard him, he never really talks seriously without comedy following. He's a wonderful friend and brother, and I'm sure he is to the rest of this country. A special gem. He goes by the name Julius Agu. Put your hands together for Julius Agu. The genius himself, let's hear it.
You see, I'm working. Shows that God is good. Let me all the time now. Okay. Your Excellency, the Vice President of this country, our dearest country, I salute you, sir, and our protocols duly observed. You know, the fact is, we are meeting with entertainers, and I'm overwhelmed. I'm very excited about it. So I would say that it's a pleasure for me to be here. I know that as soon as they announced my name, many people are wondering, Julius Agu finally came out. It is true, I'm alive. I thank God I'm alive. Okay, having said that, I know how it is with entertainment. The fact is that every individual who is an actor is a hustler. Abi? Yes. Every individual who is an actor, who is a musician, who is doing anything artistic, doing anything creative is a hustler. The fact is that we are tired of hustling. We are tired of hustling. We are tired of hustling because I remember way back when it started, you could count the number of artists. Okay, Idris Abdulkarim, Remedy, Kennis, you could count. Actors, musicians, the people that paint, the karaoke, the and you could count. But I thank God that this thing is holding this evening for entertainers to meet with the president on how is it possible, how is the way forward. The governor of Lagos State has said it all. The fact is that governor of Lagos State has said it all. Lagos State remains the best state in this whole country right now, as I'm saying. Now like that, now the clap. Because I'm in Lagos, I drive myself. I drive myself anywhere. I came alone here. I drive myself. But go to another state. Go and drive yourself. So I wouldn't talk about making you laugh or anything because I came here with a pain mind. My mind is paining me. So I thank God that, yes, I'm pained. I am pained. So I thank God that this thing has been put together for entertainers to discuss with the Vice President. What are we going to do? How is the way to push it forward? So I have a junior colleague. He goes by the name Osinbajo. Put your hands together for him. You know, you will laugh and then we'll go serious for what we want to discuss. I don't know about it. Thank you very much.
Please let's put our hands together for the juniors. Let's clap for him. Thank you.
His Excellency, the Vice President of Nigeria, good evening, sir. I love you. You know, when we come to things like this, so if I say they don't take our picture, the officer is give us money, hello. So if you don't have plan to give us, you have to give us. I'm just saying that. My governor is here, the governor of Lagos State, Governor Ambode. I'm coming to you, sir. My other governor, if you know, just clap. Yeah. So when I heard that my godfather is coming to our party, I was over there at the APC. Today I did. Yes, because I know some of you here are PDP. I don't know what you are doing here. Or fishman. You can't collect from there and collect from here. No. Collect one place and make one heaven. Hello? You are confusing us. Because some of us have been supporting this party. I work on radio. Sometimes I want to curse, but I cannot curse. Because some of the people that pay my child school fees is APC. Because they will know. So, Habib is there. My governor of Adamawa is here. No, it's not the. I know what I'm doing. The one that you didn't give ticket. Hello. My governor. You understand? But I'm just, it's a joke, though. It's not like he sent me to say it, but I don't want to say a few things and then we are done. You know, in this our industry, it's really not easy. Thank God for Akasa Lagos. Yes, clap for him. I know why. Yes, because in a long time he had made sure some of I never drop your money, some of them eat. Because if we don't get the job, we want to now look for laptop. Hello? And we can't do that. Some of us are educated, but anyway, this country, I even wonder how the vice president survived. How do you work in this government? Hello? You are trying, no? Sometimes when you even speak English, I'm shocked. My uncle from Uwe local government is now with you people. He don't even know me. Hello? And just doesn't care. When he started to do, and I'm happy because I know now that federal character you people are complaining about, some of you don't even know. Shout out to Kazim Eletro Dibodier, one of the supporters of the youth. Because without you, my house will not complete. I'm just saying it. There are some of you here, you are rich men, you are capable. We don't need to vote for you to help us. Hello? When you help us, we'll vote for you. I'm just saying, this is not a joke. You understand? His Excellency, after you help MC Galaxies, now his baby all over Lagos. Yes, you come in the office. But majorly, what I want to say in essence is this. The entertainment industry, there are some people that are hustlers. There are some people that don't hustle. We just network. Hello? Like what I'm doing now. It's not like I'm praising APC that you people have done well, but that you people have tried. No, because if you read the papers like I do every day from Monday to Friday, if you hear the amounts that we did not know. I've been in this country, I did not know that jam used to make money. Hello? Yes, I didn't know that jam used to make money until the snake came. You understand? And who gave up the discovery? It's this government. And you people say, Papa should not come back, and I wonder. I've never made money in the previous government. But somehow, I've been succeeding in this government, even if it's hard. Hello? You understand me? But I only see one thing, is that there's a move to make sure things are better. Governor Bode is here. It's sad that he has to go. But my point is this. You already said something that if this Lagos you can drive and you are comfortable. Do you know this Lagos, if your car is up on Terminal Bridge, if you make a call in less than 5 minutes, somebody's going to come and pick you up. But that is for you. Thank you, please. That joke is $5,000. You know you are leaving now, you need to park where? So park us with you. Thank you very much, my name is Osinbajo. Ladies and gentlemen, that is what happens when our beloved Vice President gives you an executive license to misbehave. I was praying that this guy will not go off key, but he did try. Put your hands together for Osinbajo one more time. You know, I look like an old man right now. I was pretty young in about 1984 when the group Michael Jackson, Lionel Richie, and the rest of the gang got together and did a very beautiful and impactful musical project called We Are the World, USA for Africa. Who remembers that? Okay, some of you were not born then, I understand. Tonight there's going to be something like a repetition of that. Many times and many ways, it would seem to me, and I was that we have sort of monopolize the kind of entertainment industry. And that is what we think we're doing. But having married from the north and understanding exactly what has happened there, they have fascinating and very colorful cultural and contemporary musical extravaganza that goes on a daily basis in places like Kaduna, Kano, Sokoto, and the rest. We want to bring that experience right here, right now. But sometimes the best way to do that kind of thing is not just to bash them into you. So we're going to ask someone that you already know who was a rave not too long ago, and we hope he's going to come back and do something for us. He goes by the name. Please make him welcome with a round of applause. Olumentain and the group. And he made everybody, boy and girl, dancing. One more time, Olumentain, ladies and gentlemen.
If you know my job, who are looking? Raise up your hands if you love this country. I do. I don't know about you. You know, it's very easy for us
to complain. But as it is, we have to maintain. You understand? So say no to complaining and let us try and maintain what they are doing.
Everybody give a round of applause for the VP. Elijah Nasir Obama, I see you. Governor Ambode, I see you. Said Balogun, I see you. Babi, I see you. At the same time, I get the go, you understand? Go quick, oh, so Mr. DJ, oh yeah. What? Everybody give a round of applause for DJ Time, all the way from Kano. If you love Naija, ọwọ́ rẹ lókè. If you love Naija, make you celebrate. If you love Naija, if you celebrate, if you are the show, Bala ma shori o, chile bebe, umadule, ayelo, ya umadjo, chile bebe, umadule, ayelo, ya umadjo.
wish someone like you. If you love my crowd, if you love my crowd, if my son
I love this woman. Thank you, everybody. God bless you. Thank you.
Can I have some juice, please? Can I have some volume? Thank you. We're going to move straight expeditiously to, no matter how much, and it's very difficult to contain entertainers. If we let them tonight to return this place into one big party, I'm sure not just His Excellency the Vice President, but also the Excellency, the Bauchi State Governor, Barrister Abubakar. Give him one round of applause. I know that we love our Lagos State Governor, and almost every single time we want to be able to recognize him. But we're Africans. He's the host, he's the guest. So sometimes you need to be able to, there's a guest amongst us. And he has taken time off his busy schedule to come here. For that very reason, therefore, please make a big round of applause for our Bauchi State Governor, the Bauchi State Governor, Barrister. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. You're welcome, sir. Okay. We are going to try to bring it down so that we can talk. The excitement that is within my bosom is the fact that we have Solomonic wisdom seated here. He's a very affable man, also a very humble man. So some of the things I say, he probably would not want to receive them. But the Bible, who I'm sure, of which I'm sure he knows very well, says that honor to whom honor is what? Due. So, sir, we're going to ask the people, believing that you're going to listen to us attentively and respond accordingly. We're going to ask some industry personalities, experienced ones, to come and tell us what the challenges really are about this industry. Not personal challenges, but structural challenges. What can really move this industry forward? There's been a lot of jojo, yeah? But we really want to get to the nitty-gritty and what some other people will say in terms of the black stars, yeah? Right now, my honor and pleasure to call on Mr. Emeka Samuel Adua, the CEO Magnetic Links Limited. He's also the chairman, film and video producers and marketers association of Nigeria. He goes by the name Mr. Magnetic. Make welcome Mr. Emeka Adua. Where is he? With a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Is he here? One more time, ladies and gentlemen. As I was instructed, one more time, I'm going to invite to the podium Mr. Emeka Samuel Adua, the CEO of Magnetic Links Limited. Is he in the house? Ladies and gentlemen, let's encourage these wonderful, experienced people who have given their sweat. You're welcome, sir.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I said good evening, ladies and gentlemen. If you are not responding, you will respond by force. This one, my entertainment industry. Without taking much of your time, I want to go straight to the point. This is an address by the chairman, Film Video Producers Marketers Association of Nigeria, Emeka Samuel. His Excellency, the Vice President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, Professor Osinbajo, SAN. Honorable Ministers, Federal Republic of Nigeria, here present. Members of the National Assembly, here present. The Lagos State Governor, Akumi Ambode, Atide, Ambode Tide, the other governors present here. On behalf of my colleagues in Nollywood, I welcome you to this great gathering. I do believe that we will have a memorable and enjoyable time together here. It is gratifying to be in the presence of the people. It is gratifying to be in the presence of people like this. They are all dignitaries, celebrities, organization, members brought here together for just one cause. That is for the unity and progress of our great nation. But permit me to give you the assurance of our continuous support in all ramifications. Support in all ramifications. You agree with me that MVP man and Nollywood as a whole have come a long way. And the industry to the gross domestic product, which is GDP, cannot be overlooked. To acknowledge all of us present, it is no more news that piracy is the greatest challenge we are having in this industry. We therefore wish to use this opportunity to call on His Excellency, the Vice President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency, Federal Republic of Nigeria, to come to the aid of the industry. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I plead that the federal government kindly assist us in this war against piracy. I want to state categorically here that the industry yearns for the support of this government to the betterment and growth of Nollywood. I want to use this opportunity to assure this government for our great support towards the 2019 forthcoming election. Thank you all for giving great opportunity to be in front of us. Long live every man. Long live Nollywood. Long live Federal Republic of Nigeria.
A round of applause for him, ladies and gentlemen. It gets complicated sometimes. And you know what? One house. Ladies and gentlemen, one house. I know food has come, but please, don't use this food to confuse us. We are here to talk, not just to eat. Yeah? Please. Listen, what a man doesn't understand, he naturally is against. So sometimes when people do not communicate in the language you comprehend, do not turn them away. Put your ears to the ground. You might hear one word of wisdom. And as I was listening to this man, not the most erudite of speakers, but he said something that is key. And that is that piracy is a big problem in this industry. He said some other things. But please, so instead of obstructing by talking and making noise, this is the primary reason why we came. You will not be doing this industry any good if at the time the speaker is here, you are talking on top of his voice or your voices, so that even our guests do not hear what he's saying. He spoke well. And one more time, put your hands together for him. But like the octopus, he's hydra-headed. He decided to try his luck in another industry. And that industry is very close to, I don't know what they call it, industry, of our eminent excellency sitting down here. He's not exactly there yet, but he's of the legislative arm of your government. He is famous, he's well known and very popular in the homes of Nigerians and Africans, but he said, I will rise up and recognize this popularity and use it for the benefit of the people. And when he tried his chance, it worked for him. Right now, he's not just a superstar, but an honorable member of the Lagos State House of Assembly. My honor and pleasure, therefore, ladies and gentlemen, it will be to ask you to please welcome one who will speak on behalf of the actors in this house, Mr. Desmond Elliott. No, that's not good enough. A round of applause for Desmond, man. That's better. I can understand you guys are eating.
Thank you, Israel. Good evening, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. The Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, my working governor, the Governor of Lagos State. I also recognize the Governor of Bauchi State, and without forgetting one of the main people who actually made me start my journey into the political realm. We call him the man who knows God's will. Ladies and gentlemen, our newest convert in the All Progressives Congress, the distinguished Senator Godswill Akpabio. Please can we give them a round of applause. Please allow me, because of time, to stand on the existing protocol, and I'll go in straight. Firstly, I'd like to say it's an honor that the Vice President counted us worthy of this kind of meeting. And to this, please, can we just give him a resounding entertainment round of applause. Thank you so much, sir. We are very honored. We are. Sir, we can't discuss all the problems today. It's enormous. But I'm thinking this is the right step in the right direction. And going by what His Excellency, the Lagos State Governor has said, a lot has been done as far as entertainment is concerned in Lagos State. Lagos being a major consumer of entertainment content in Nigeria and Africa. And to these we say thank you very much, sir. Thank you so much. Please, can we give the Lagos State Governor a round of applause as well? And sir, we are limited because a lot of things are basically on the what you call exclusive list, and Lagos State is tied. So we can't do so much. The governor is doing the much he can within the constraints of the law. But sir, we have major issues. And to God be the glory, next year will make my 20th year in the industry. And I am so honored to have been called up to speak one or two things about this industry. I just wondered yesterday when they were sending bombs to America, all those American presidents, and one man was mentioned. I don't know if you were there or you listened. Robert De Niro. And I said to myself, this guy is an entertainer. This guy is an actor. Why would anyone want to send bomb to him? It's because America recognizes the importance of entertainment in the governance of the United States of America. Bringing it back home, to say we feel left away from so many things would be an understatement. The industry is suffering, sir. There's a lot that could be done in collaboration between the government and the entertainment industry. Firstly, sir, we talk about funding. Funding is a major problem. A lot of the individuals we have here produce films and music and everything, not from a company, but from individualistic points of view. Unfortunately, that's where we find ourselves. But we know that with funding, adequate funding, and support in terms of grants, we had that before. And it took us to a certain level. But unfortunately, there was no continuity. And so everything has dropped back to square one. We're asking for a more standard way of sourcing for revenue. Sir, there's this thing called treaties. We're not asking that the government bring money, but we could have treaties, agreements between our industry that is growing. And indeed, we do have the content. And other international countries, we're talking about Canada, America, even Europe. They have treaties, agreements. They can come here and shoot. They can come here and do their films, we can go over there, and then they give rebates and all that. The intent is to have a growing industry. There's no denying the fact that Nollywood and the music industry has really taken Nigeria to its highest level. I always say this, no amount of governmental work can take the image of this country as far as entertainment is done. I stand to be corrected, but that's the truth. That's the truth. Anywhere you go, the first thing they call is either your music or your films before you start up in business. Sir, I see no need why we shouldn't grow this industry. It's so lucrative, it can create jobs. And then, what Emeka was trying to say before I go out, Emeka was trying to say something about piracy, which is the main problem we have today. And one of the issues we have is the fact that there's so much influx of foreign content into the country. So much. I was shocked one day, a cousin of mine was greeting me and he said, Namaste. And I said to him, the Indians don't say Ekaro or Ekaso. Why should I be saying Namaste? Because I watch DC channels. There's too much influx of foreign content. We need, just like we are growing rice in our economy today, to grow our local content. Please, sir, we need the industry to sit down in the appropriate quarters and then we discuss truthfully. One of the reasons I am with this party is because of these men. President Muhammad Buhari and His Excellency Yemi Osinbajo. They are honest men. And the reason that I'm here today is because I know that if these men take this industry seriously, the next 4 years for Nollywood will be competing with Hollywood. Thank you very much, and I'm really waiting for this to happen. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Honorable Member of the Lagos State House of Assembly, superstar actor extraordinaire, Mr. Desmond Ellen. A round of applause for him, ladies and gentlemen. Now, listen. I've been inundated by a lot of people here who wants to say one thing or the other. I was born, in a manner of speaking, into this industry. So I know the personalities that we're dealing with here. There's nothing wrong with wanting to speak. We're talking people, we like to talk. Yeah? This is show business. However, I will beg you, let us not abuse the executive license given unto us by His Excellency the Vice. Meet the questions, not comments to just 4 people. What you need to do is put up your hands, and there's a microphone in the audience, and you'll ask your questions. And you'll receive the answer at the appropriate time. I would like to give honor to whom honor is due in the crowd. There's a man that goes by the name, I'm sure you know him. He's a producer of no mean repute. Mr. Lancelot Imasuen for the first question. A round of applause for Lancelot. Where's the microphone, ladies and gentlemen? I know we all have something to say, but please. Thank you.
Vice President and all the big men that are here. My question is, in Lagos State, 2 days ago, I received a letter from the Lagos State federal tax, inland tax, the tax body of Lagos State, and I was given about 2 million naira to come and pay to Lagos State. I released 2 movies into the cinema this year, and I lost over 15 million naira. And I asked myself, my only source of livelihood, the only place I make money from is making movies, and I make losses because the issue of distribution remains a major problem in Nigeria. I've gone through the Nigerian film book, which has not been reviewed since 1992. Each local government in Nigeria is supposed to house at least a viewing center. Nigeria, we have over 180 million people. Mr. Vice President, sir, what are you going to promise us to make sure that the issue of distribution of movies in Nigeria can get to the grassroots? Because right now we have less than 50 screens operational in Nigeria, and that is causing us a whole lot of losses as filmmakers. So if my revenue increases, it will be possible for me to pay Lagos State 2 million naira as tax. So I'm waiting for them now to come out and cuff me and carry me to jail, because that is the reality. The next is as big as Nigeria. We do not have any production treaty with any country in the world, whereas Ghana and several others, they have production treaties where other big producing countries, they come to the country to produce, and we can go there and all that. So what are we being promised? And my last is, sir, why are you meeting with us this late? I mean this late, because the last administration, it was also the same time that they are meeting us. Why didn't you meet with us when you just started, if you truly had us in mind? God bless you. Over and top of it.
Very well spoken. Very well spoken. The case of distribution, I'm known to a lot of people who are not in the industry, or those who are in the industry do not know that it's not the beauty of your movie that determines the revenue you make. If there's no infrastructure, You can make Titanic, and at the end of the day, you will make peanuts. There's a man who I've intermingled with, my paths have crossed his path many times in my life. And unknown to a lot of people, you know him in one area. Some other people know him as like his hydra headache. But I'm one of the privileged few to have known him in the many walks of his life. There are very few people in this hall. He's another very humble man. There are very few people in this hall who have contributed to the growth and development of the film industry like he has. He's not an actor. He's not a producer. He's not a director. But he's a wonderful man. A broadcaster. A broadcast entrepreneur. Extraordinary. My honor and pleasure to call on the man who dares where the angels dare to tread. Mr. Tony Osinbajo. Tony Osinbajo, your questions.
Yes. Good evening, Your Excellency. Well, I've listened to a few things and I know a few things that this government has done. So I want to take Your Excellency's liberty to reel out some of the things that are going on right now that would solve a few of the problems that have been mentioned here. On the issue of distribution, I know clearly that even as of next month, this government has worked very hard to launch the new distribution on free-to-view set-top boxes in Nigeria. So that with the digital switchover that is happening right now, the government is ensuring that every box that will be in about 24 million TV households in Nigeria would be able to receive and sell Nigerian movies at the touch of a remote control without the customer having any internet. Now this project is completed already. It's been launched in Kaduna and in Abuja. I think it's on the 14th of November, and it's being anchored currently by the National Broadcasting Commission and the Nigerian Film Video Censors Board. With regards to cinemas also, I know that currently the Bank of Industry has been incentivized to give single-digit facilities to companies who are interested in building cinemas across the country. In fact, even His Excellency the Governor of Lagos State, I am very aware of the fact that there's an initiative to put community cinema in all the 57 local governments of Lagos State. All of these are all in the aim of ensuring that distribution for films becomes a very easy thing for people who make good quality productions. I'm also aware of, for the music industry, representations have been made to the Central Bank Governor through the Ministry of Information in order to be able to give single-digit intervention financing to the building of entertainment centers in each of the 6 geopolitical zones of Nigeria in order to aid people who want to do music concerts and tours across the country. Now, coupled with this is the fact that under this government, the creative industry has been added to the list of industries that get what we all know as pioneer status, which is what helps you not to pay tax for the first 5 years instead of a company that is investing in this particular sector. So again, it's not a question of immediate stomach infrastructure, but actually that the government is working very, very hard, and we see it in different areas to ensure that there is a clear line of sight for people who are going to fund, work, or finance this industry. So those are a few things that I am very, very well aware of that are being done right now, and I believe will be very, very beneficial to the industry as a whole. Thank you very much.
Tony Osinbajo, even if I say so myself, a great patriot. A lot of people do not remember, but I was there, so I can tell you that this new cinemas you are enjoying now in Nigeria was a direct result. That is what I call him, the man who goes where angels fear to tread. He started the new Metro cinema experience. And that is what brought back cinemas, modern cinemas, back to Nigeria. So give Tony Osinbajo a round of applause. We need more people like Tony Osinbajo. The next person is equally iconic, if not more so. You know her name more than that of Tony Subai. You recognize her face more than that of Tony Subai. She's not just recognized in these shows, but everywhere you mention the name in Africa and beyond, she's recognized. She's affected our lives in many ways and one. When she started, she was impressionable. I think she was 18, if I'm not joking. I'm not lying or mistaken. About that age. Young, impressionable, beautiful girl. But something stood out, she was very sexy. And it's stuck even to this day. I didn't ask you to clap, so if you want to clap, put your hands together. Without much ado, ladies and gentlemen, our very own, the lady we are so proud of, the Queen of Nollywood. Make welcome, the one and only, Omotola, aka Omo-Sexy. A round of applause for Omotola, ladies and gentlemen. Omotola Galabi and Kendo.
Good evening, everyone. May I stand on the existing protocol? I want to say good evening to entertainers here, because everybody seems to greet only the politicians and forget the entertainers. All my seniors in the entertainment industry, I want to thank you for coming out today and welcome to this gathering. As I'll stand first, I'll start with what a great director already said, that this meeting is coming very late. We wish it started or it happened earlier, because there's so much we need to say. Mr. Subaru already answered some of the questions I wanted to ask initially, but I also want to talk about something that I just experienced recently. So, dear Vice President, luckily I was inducted into the Voting Academy of the Oscars recently, and I've been to some meetings. What worries me the most is that, as we speak, Morocco is planning to host the Academy in their country. And when I was in this high-powered meeting, the first thing they said is Morocco is the entertainment capital of Africa. How is that? Is Morocco, the Moroccans even call themselves Africans? You know, and this is something that always happens to us. It's either they're taking things to South Africa, or they're taking it to some other African country. These days, movies are even being shot in Malawi. Movies that are about Nigeria. I was in a panel in the UN about how do you shoot about Africa? How do you talk about our culture and everything that we own actually, and do not even shoot in Nigeria or come to Nigeria? Most of the things that were, most of the investigations or sets, designs and everything came from South Africa. Long and short of the whole story is Nigeria really does not have world-class studios. And as much as we want to say all these things and say, oh, we are being cheated, things are not brought here, the truth of the matter is we do not have standard things that make them come here. Some of these Hollywood stars have come to this country to do their investigations on the ground. I at least met with Ben Stiller in this country. I met with him right here. You know about it. The Hebrews know about it. He was in Federal Palace Hotel. I met with him. This was how many years ago? Ben Stiller. But he never came back. They come here and they never come back because the country is not conducive. We need to start with power. We need to start with power. No production is going to come tonight. It's a $1 million industry. Nobody's going to take us seriously when we don't have power, because a lot of things have to do with power. We that are shooting locally and struggling, we are fighting tooth and nail to shoot in this country without power. We all know how much we waste just trying to shoot without power. And then sometimes you sit down and you hear generators and all of that stuff. It is because we have to survive without power. Secondly, to bring in grids and all the things, equipment that you use. I met with one, I don't want to call his name, one Hollywood actor who wanted to come shoot a production here. And he said he sent his, I'm talking to the entertainers now, he sent his production crew to come to Nigeria on the ground to come do, a lot of these guys come underground to come do their investigation. He was asked for bribes from the airport. From the airport. This guy spent only 1 day in Nigeria and went back. For every one person they send here to Nigeria, they've not even gotten to the entertainment industry yet. This is just the country we are talking about. So for every person that asks them for bribe, the immigration officers at the airport, they go back and tell 10 other production companies in Hollywood. And this is how our image is being destroyed every day. So those of us that are working so hard to elevate the image of this country, we go out there and they say, oh, I like you, but I don't like your country. We need to change this. And it starts with government. I'm an activist, and so this is maybe going, sideways. Besides all the other little things that we need, I think we need to start by really making life easy for Nigerians, and then as extensions to practitioners. I hope that we can have another opportunity to talk to you seriously other than this, because there's a lot, and I want to give opportunity to other people to talk, because there's a lot to talk about. But I hope you can understand where I'm coming from. Thank you for this opportunity.
This is one who has spent over 20-something years in the industry, so she actually does know what she's talking about. Infrastructure, power. There's something in production they call the technicalities of production. If they are not right, no Fox will come, no Universal will come, no Warner Brothers will come. They will love your country to bits. They won't put one cowboy into it. That is the reason why we're here. And what is authentic and what is interesting is the fact that we have a listening Vice President. Before we move forward in time on our presentation, my honor and pleasure to be to recognize some dignitaries who were not ordinarily recognized before. The national women leader of the APC is here, Hajia Salamatu Maureluma. Make a welcome with a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. APC Deputy National Women Leader, Honor Iwomo Oyebuchi is here. The APC Zonal Women Leader Southwest Chief Mrs. Kenny Nelson is here. Alaji Uban Seidu Malabi, the Chairman Solid Mineral Development Fund, is also here. A round of applause for him. Before we continue, ladies and gentlemen, sometimes the executives amongst us will be overboarding the kind of questions you ask. So if we ask too many questions, because they're human beings, there's a tendency to want to forget to answer all of them. So I want to bump into the questions. We'll have about one more or two more people. I want to bump into that and ask some of our executives, not the Vice President himself yet, but the guest governor, who we so much revere, to say a word or two concerning what he has heard and seen so far. My honor and pleasure, therefore, to invite to the microphone His Excellency Executive Governor of Bauchi State, Barrister Mohammed Abdullahi Abubakar. A round of applause for him, ladies and gentlemen.
Your Excellency, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Your Excellency, the Governor of Lagos State, Your Excellency, distinguished Senator Padu, members of the National Assembly here present, members of the State House of Assembly here present, our party leaders, distinguished entertainers present. Let me bring to you the immense goodwill of the good people of Bauchi State. Bauchi may not be a Lagos, but Bauchi is also a state that loves entertainment and entertainers. Unknown to many of you, right now, there's a major Nollywood production that is receiving finishing touches that was shot virtually, holistically in Bauchi State. It is called from Bauchi with love. And it's featuring Banky W and Rahama Sadao. And as I am talking to you right now, a film crew from Kannywood is in Bauchi shooting a major production. And all the entertainers you have seen today, the musicians you have seen today from the north who performed, and many others who are not here, have at one time or the other been in Bauchi, and we have welcomed them with open arms. Let me say that we identify with you. We identify with your problems. We identify with your aspirations. And let me finally say that I align myself with the sentiments expressed by Honorable Desmond Elliott about him being greeted in Indian language. As a person, I have taken an exception to the featuring of Indian films in my house. So whenever I come across it, I will change it to Kannywood. Not that I've been watching too much of Kannywood, but as a protest, I've done it so much so that my family has started noticing that I want us to go the way of Nigerian productions, not foreign contents. So I thank you most profusely, and I wish each and every one of you success. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. A round of applause for His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Bauchi State, Barrister Abdullahi Abubakar. Now, we have come to the call. You know, when you run in 400 meters, you come to the final call. That is where we are right now. Any moment from now to be time for the man from whom we so earnestly desire to hear to speak. But not yet, not exactly. Not until one man who was for 8 years an executive governor himself in the great state of Akwa Ibom. We'll hand over the microphone to him. Tell us about his experience and tell us about his observations about what has transpired tonight. My honor and pleasure, therefore, with a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished Senator, His Excellency, the former Governor of Akwa Ibom State, Barrister Godswill Akpabio. Round of applause for him.
Good evening to all of you. I hope I'm using the right voice. Good evening to all of you. Your Excellency the Vice President, Your Excellency our host Governor, my dear brother, the Governor of Bauchi State, great actors, actresses, musicians, I would say great prides of Nigeria. I greet you tonight. Your Excellency, I'm not supposed to say anything because they know me and I know them. Am I right or wrong? They know me and I know them. But since I'm wearing the cap of APC for the first time before you, I think it's important that you hear from me. Now as an APC chieftain, am I right? Your Excellency, mine will just be to reassure you that those things I used to do when I was in the other party, I will continue to do that. Once Keyamu allows the Vice President to hear what I'm saying, I will continue. Yes, Excellency, I'm just, my mind is to assure them that those things I used to do when I was in the other party, I will even do more with a progressive platform. So the first thing normally say almost sexy. Me, I would say. I hope I didn't say it. I would say built a gas processing plant in a place called Esleget. And we are producing about 220 million TCF of gas as I speak. That is the one that we are using to power the aluminum smelter company and also the NIPP in Calabar. So I worried about the things we worry about. So I went into that area. The third thing was, how do I support the industry? So I partnered with Ben Bruce and brought him down, and we built the Silverbird Galleria, where we have about 6 fantastic viewing centers, some of them about 450 people and all that. Surprisingly, we used to have up to 3,000 people there every weekend watching you. So they even know you. Sometimes they pass you and they will think that they are their nation because of how much they see you in my state. So that's the situation. So we made the space available. Of course, you also know that I assisted many of you, either in terms of production or even in terms of the service. One day I was in Selfridges, and the Excellency the Governor of Lagos said, and then they put on that song. They said, I went to Calabar. I saw God said, he dashed me money. I go work out for Lagos. Thanks for God. And do you know something like that? Oh, you've not heard the song before? So at the end I was saying, and I was shopping, so I was saying, I said, these people are singing about me. Then I went to one white man, I looked at him, and he didn't know me. I said, this man doesn't know that this song belongs to me. Many of you are so popular outside this country that if you knew, you will package your country very well. Section 24, 1 to 5 of the Nigerian Constitution enjoins you to do everything possible to ensure the integrity, the oneness and the integrity of this country. You are the Nigerian ambassadors. Forget the fact that we have not reached the El Dorado, but you are so popular. If you go to Kenya, they are talking about you. They know you by name. You go to even the South Africa you are talking about. They go. I believe that outside Hollywood, Nollywood is the biggest as far as I'm concerned. I don't know anything about Hollywood. So you need that giant support. You just mentioned one now, but they need to have a fantastic studio. Whatever happened to Tinapa? Has any of you been to Tinapa? In Calabar? I thought Donald Duke built something fantastic there. That you could have, liberation. Have you been there? Yes, I thought that the place is abandoned now. I don't know what happened. So sometimes the problem of Nigeria is also maintenance. Because if you had liberation there, I believe a lot of these people you're talking about from outside would have used the place. But that is not the story for today. Now I'm in the APC. The reason I'm in the APC is that most of the issues you are raising now, I'm also here to work with His Excellency, the President, and also the Vice President of Nigeria to make the industry a much better place for all of you. Some of the musicians met me outside and they told me the music that will be coming in the next 1 or 2 months. We will continue to assist you. Don't ever think that it's too late. Nigeria had independence in 1960. But you know, we have had governments upon governments. Why didn't they arrange this kind of thing from 1960? I hope you understand what I'm saying. You said the last government met you at the twilight of the election. That was about 2014 or thereabout. It was even their second term. But this government is meeting you in the first term because they are about to go into a major election. And they want to go into promises. They want the people to map a road, to have a roadmap for the future. They want to carry it along early enough. In the next 1 month or so, Mr. President will be submitting a budget to the National Assembly. What is he going to budget for 2019? So the Vice President said, why don't I have an evening with the stars, the ambassadors of Nigeria? They have thinking problems. Let me listen to them. So when we get back to Abuja, we can slot in some of those things. Because it's better for us to start from somewhere. You know, they say journey of 1,000 miles begins to the step. And so he invited me. Thank you, sir. You said I should listen to them. If there are issues that will require legislation, I should listen and also jot it down. That's what we directed. That is why I'm here. If we need to tinker with the copyright law so that your creativity will not continue to go down the drain, then we'll do so. If the federal government needs to assist you with a major facility, like you mentioned, we do so. And you don't mention something about immigration. He has noted it down. We are going to work on that. The country cannot be better than Nigerians. We are the ones that make up the country does not make us. That's the so just as we are talking about corruption at the airport, there is a lot of corruption even in your industry. And corruption comes in different forms. When you know very well that they are trying to take the picture of a young girl in the waist, and you tell her, take off your bra. What does that mean? That's not corruption. But I know what you are talking about. If someone listens to me, and then you said, you look like somebody who could be a big star. I'll turn you into a star. They see me in Oriental Hotel room 421. Is that not corruption? That is corruption, man. So we are the ones that will change Nigeria. And that is one of the things that attracted me to this government. The fact that you have a man of integrity, Mr. President, and he's very prepared to change the country. And I know that when I was a governor, I was regarded as an autonomous transformer. It was like a drop of water in an ocean. And so it did not make so much impact around the whole country. Because if all the governors in my time did what I did, I believe Nigeria would have been far better today. You have to complain about film centers and all that. It seems to have been far better. Somebody, I just want to congratulate you. As I was driving from the airport today, I saw the major improvement on the road. That is also something that will bring Nigeria. I thank you for that. And in the center of the road, I told somebody that how I used to measure my road is that I mentioned it to you. I sit at the back of the car and hold the newspaper. If you drive and I put the contractor inside, when the newspaper does not shake, I'll say your road is ready for commissioning. So I pay you your last money. So when I was passing through your road today, I realized that I could drive on it with the newspaper and the road will not shake. Congratulations for what they are doing. So for each and every one of you, wherever you are, you have to put in your best to make sure that Nigeria is better. I know you came from different political persuasions, but tonight I brought a message to you that if I, Osinbajo, can stand in front of you as an APC chieftain and talk about a change matter, if I can do so, then you too can join me. I don't want to see a situation where people are complaining about, oh, PDP did not do well in 60 years. Then just 3 years, somebody is saying we should go back to PDP. I don't understand that language. Is it now that I'm joining here to work to make your life better? And you go and tell me that is it when people like me who care for you, there is virtually no comedian that did not visit my state. There is none that did not visit my state. In fact, you even use me to make jests. Remember how you used to compare me with Fashala? That if you come to Osinbajo, we say, my brother, give him some. But if you go to Fashala will say, have you paid your tax? Have you forgotten? Is it not true? I'll put my hand in my pocket and give you. But Fashala will say, let me see your receipt. So, Lagos will take from you, but I will give to you. So now I'm coming to give to you. Is it the time you will be talking about PDP? Please, I just want to say with respect. I sang a little song a few days ago. You know what I said? I said, there is something that attracted me to APC. Transformation. There is something that attracted me to APC. Transformation. Transformation, oh, APC. Transformation, oh, APC. There is something that attracted me to APC. Transformation.
You know, they say we learn every day. Who would have known that the former executive governor of Akwa Ibom State is not just a politician,
but a comedian. He now ended up as a musician. Who is the president of the Association of Movie Producers or the Directors Guild? Please register him as a member because very soon your job is at stake. What's his name? Tulosagu. There's a better comedian in town. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, put your hands together. For God's will acclaim you, distinguished senator. I'm talking about representatives. We have Right Honorable Mohammed Gololo from Gamawa Federal Constituency of Bauchi State. He's here with us. A round of applause for him. Can you stand to be recognized, sir? Thank you, thank you. We also have Right Honorable Ibrahim Baba, representing Katakum Federal Constituency, also from Bauchi State. Thank you. These are all men who have come to support their governor in listening to you and making a promise. I heard it directly from the mouth of the executive governor of Bauchi State that they will do something about your plight. You see, the whole postulations tonight is encapsulated in one word, sir. These people, if you remember, and I'm sure you know, the great American president, John F. Kennedy, said, ask not what your country can do for you, but rather ask what you can do for your country. But I can say it without fear of contradiction that the people here tonight, your excellencies, have neither asked what their country can do for them. They are not coming to ask what they can do for their country because they have done enough for their country already. What they are coming here to ask is one word: what can they themselves and the government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria do together to move this country forward? That is the question that is begging an answer. One other question, ladies and gentlemen, before we come to the man of the moment tonight, there's one amongst us who I'm sure a lot of us here know. You must be prime time entertainment, the one and only Kenny Ogumbe. You're just looking for the music industry. All this time we've been talking about acting. Come. I don't understand why Hollywood is just acting. Because when you go to Hollywood, it's acting, music, drama, it's everything put together. So please speak and make it clear.
Thank you, Israel. The Vice President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, the host governor, the governor of Bauchi State, distinguished senator, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to stand on the existing protocol. A few months ago, the Vice President went to America, took some people, they went to California. Some of us did not know, some of us did not hear. We saw it on TV. You met some people, and you discussed with eminent businessmen in Hollywood. I just want to say, we would love to hear part of the outcome of the meeting here, so that something that we can tap on, that we can relate to, that we can gain from that your trip to the USA. Thank you, sir. I could have said some other things, but I don't want to be like a comedian. Yes, I'm done.
You caught me unawares. Great men don't talk for too long. I mean, he has all the wisdom. He wrapped it up in more. Can you agree, ladies and gentlemen? Now, it's time. Or almost, so I heard. Time. The work of an MC sometimes is very difficult. Because you're looking at faces very prominent to also say, how about the comedy industry? Music spoke, acting spoke. Where is comedy? And comedy, you must agree, is a very vibrant part of the entertainment industry. Do you agree? So let's call once again to the podium, representing the comedy industry, Mr. Sometimes you guys behave as if I am deaf and dumb. You are giving me sign language. Talk. There's a microphone here? There's no microphone? No, I'll give you my microphone. Junior cycle, ladies and gentlemen, very quickly.
Thank you very much. Everybody has spoken, but it seems as if the film industry was taking a whole thing about this night. And I thank God that for me personally, I've effected every part of that. Film or I be actor. Whether comedy, I'm a comedian. Whether public speaking, I thank God. Whether what else? Music, I'm a music comedian. Music comedian. Yes, I thank God. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Thank you. The fact was that I saw, as soon as he called Kenneth Ogumbu, I expected him to ask something about music. But he said, okay. The fact is that for comedy, I thank God that FIROS has been very supportive of comedians. Let me clap when FIROS has been very supportive. Has been very, very supportive. So, I don't know. For everything that happens in this country, for everything, comedians have a way of putting these things. For people to laugh. For people to laugh and laugh away your sorrows. Even after this thing, if comedians meet and discuss, you will laugh. The fact is that we're discussing about entertainment, which comprises of the film actors, comedians, musicians, every venture, every part of entertainment. So, we are also talking about comedy. Please, let's hear how it's going to be. Thank you very much.
Right here, right now, we allowed only one lady to talk, and the ladies are not happy about that. And I'll use my borrowed executive fiat to hand over the microphone to another lady amongst us, another member of the great Ogumbe family, the great Kenny St. Brown. Put your hands together for Kenny St. Brown. Wants to say something, ask a question.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm standing on the Vice President of the Republic of Nigeria, Professor Osinbajo, Governor of Lagos State, Governor of Bauchi, Senator, women leaders in the House, my colleagues. I have two. One is a question to be thrown at the NBC and the licensing, and not licensing, what's the other one? No. Censors Board. We know that music and entertainment has a way of molding the society. And we see a lot of things in the musical videos that are not good for our children. We have the responsibility of molding the next generation. And the responsibility is not only laid on us. Even if we're so creative and we think that for us to have 1 million views on YouTube, we must do our video in such a seductive or soft pornography way to ensure viewership or listenership. No, wait. We're talking about the next Nigerians now. We're talking about children. We're talking about the rate of rape in the Nigerian society. We're talking about alcoholism. We're talking of show of shame in our videos, both musical and movies. And we're saying the Nigerian Censors Board, excuse me, let me finish. If it is banned, well, sometimes banned, when the video is banned, but if it's banned on terrestrial television, they still play it on DSTV and the rest. But DSTV, we play on our soil. Is that a way that NBC doesn't come late before they ban? Is there a way the Nigerian Census Board can sit up to their responsibilities? That's the first question, sir. The second one, listen, it will do us good. The second one is on capacity. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Put your hands together for our time is really fast spent. A round of applause for Kennison Brown, ladies and gentlemen. Made a very salient point about the banning of videos on terrestrial and cable television. Now remember that the Vice President, His Excellency the Vice President, had listened to all of you and is very close to speaking. But before he speaks, something happened before we all got here. There was a competition that took place. And in the competition, 5 groups of 5 upcoming artists came up at the top 5. We have invited one here tonight to come and perform for the pleasure of the Executive Vice President. I hear it on good authority that 5 of them will have dinner at some time at the pleasure of the Vice President. These are how well these groups all over the country have performed. But the one who is here tonight is the young artist who has a chance to showcase her talent in this big podium. Put your hands together for the one and only very beautiful young girl. Itunu Pepe. Itunu, come forward. Encourage her now with a round of applause. That's better. That's better. Thank you. Thank you. Give it up, give it up, give it up one more time for Itunu Pepe. Those he looks pepperless, but glad the nature wants to go by. You know what I mean? Ladies and gentlemen, this is a complicated industry. This is a complicated industry. A lot of people don't understand it. They think that it is just music, comedy, entertainment. It is not. There are many people that work behind the industry that make the industry tick. You've heard of a place called Hollywood. Hollywood cannot move without Wall Street. That is the reality, sir. Without the funds that are injected into Hollywood from Wall Street, you say Black Panther, Black Panther, Black Panther, they spent $200 million on Black Panther. And it asked the guy to sign and say, listen, if we don't make money, you lose your job. The guy said, I'm ready. White man betting on an all-black movie. The rest is history. They made $1.5 billion. Sometimes it takes the heart, not just structure. And that is what we are begging our government to come along with these young people. Some of them not so young to do. There's one amongst us who is also very great. He is not a musician, he's not a comedian, he's not a singer, he's not an actor. But the platform which he is on, without it, you will not even see some of these musicians. It's called broadcasting, which is my constituency. He is a wonderful broadcaster, and I'm sure you've seen him once or twice. To come and speak on the peculiar problem of movie licensing, music licenses, and the problem of COSOM. He will explain what it means, Your Excellencies.
Give it up for the one and only Mr. Olisa Adibo. Olisa Adibo, ladies and gentlemen. There he comes. The big man himself. Make him welcome. A round of applause for Olisa. He's the last, but by no means the least of the speakers here today. A broadcaster for excellence. The very final speaker today. Olisa, amen. I did, man. Good to see you.
Thank you very much, Israel. Good evening, everyone. All protocol observed. Good evening, Your Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Nigeria. A lot has been said. A lot of things that I would like to have said have been touched on by previous speakers. I represent between COSON and different organizations, and I think it's a particular area that I think the Vice President should really look into to finally find a solution for the problem. Because what is going on right now, a lot of musicians, the careers have ended, but they are living in penury because they don't have their pension. They cannot collect royalties, they cannot collect from the agencies on the music they have made in their careers. And it's a potentially huge revenue earner, not just for the musician, but also for the federal government as well. In other countries, the agencies collect billions of dollars every year, which is paid out to musicians, but somehow Nigerian musicians don't get their own royalties. Many years ago, I had the privilege of meeting the likes of Fela Kuti, and Fela used to say that every single month he was getting checks from different countries in large quantities, but he never got a check from Nigeria about his royalties. So these are things we need to look at. And also on the musical side, we seem to have lost the foundation of what music is all about. There are no musical instruments being taught. There are no music instruments being played in our schools anymore. Where is the future of the music is going to come from? We need to have that. We need to get music back into our schools, primary schools, secondary schools, and universities. It's very important. And if this government is going to do anything and going to leave a lasting legacy, you need to create structures all around for the entertainment industry. You need to create don't just give us money, give us foundation and structures. Let us have multiple cinemas everywhere. Let us have places where you can have access to funds, to get cameras, to produce music. That is what we need. We need the right environment. We will make this country great. We will create money, revenue for the government. If only you create an enabling environment for the industry to thrive. Let it be your legacy as Vice President of Nigeria. Let it be APC's legacy. So many years when you're gone, you say, I did this with my government. So please, help us, okay? Thank you, sir.
Podcast photography. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for. I know you'll accuse me of favoritism, but I mean, that's what broadcasters do, they talk for a living. But very many salient points. And when he talked about legacy, I'm just reminded that even as we speak, when the history of Lagos State will be written, it will be remembered that the present governor of Lagos State has built 6 beautiful multiplexes that have cinemas in them even as we speak. And before this term ends, he is ready to build more. So a round of applause for the governor of Lagos State, ladies and gentlemen. Sometimes we just complain and complain. We do not put our ears to the ground to see what people are really truly doing. Sometimes put your ears to the ground, you will hear that wonderful things are happening. Right now, this is the moment we've been waiting for. The fountain of wisdom is before us, though he wouldn't want me to say that. But I know. And the beautiful thing about it is that I just remember that this man is not just a politician, but a legal luminary. It's an SAN. So some of these things, especially the technicalities and the legalese of all these things, he's listening to you, and I'm sure he will answer you effectively. But I also take into cognizance the fact that do not expect all the answers tonight too, because that is not the way life is. Whatever he says, take it home, and deal with it. I am assured of this one thing, that he will not lie to you, he will not deceive you. So when he puts his mouth on the ground and says, this is what we want to do, or this is what I think we should do, I think come over to Abuja, let's talk more, take him seriously. My honor and pleasure, therefore, ladies and gentlemen. Before I call him, I also want to remind you that he has personally asked to meet with you people, recognizing the sweat and the wonderful contributions you made to the growth and development of our country and its image. So he will move around. Just be seated. Don't go after the national anthem, please. That is what I'm asking you. Comport yourself, be seated. He will come and talk to you and greet you one after the other. That is how much he reveres you. That is how much he respects you. That is how much he loves you. And that is how much he wants to work with you. It is now time for him to talk. Ladies and gentlemen, His Excellency, the Executive Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Professor Osinbajo. A round of applause for him, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much. Please sit. Thank you. Your Excellencies, the Governor of Lagos State, Governor of Bauchi State, Excellency, former Governor of Akwa Ibom State, and soon to become comedian, Senator Godswill Akpabio, the uncommon senator, uncommon governor, and our latest convert to the APC, as you would describe. The convener of this meeting, the Honorable Alhaji Nasir Dano, members of the National Assembly here present, friends and colleagues, all of our friends from the entertainment industry, creatives, present, artists, I welcome you all here and thank you very much for the honor of this meeting. First, let me say that today I attended the Ake Book and Arts Festival, and that was about earlier on this morning. And one of the things that was said, which I took away, was something that the EU ambassador said. He said that if all entertainers were politicians, and if all politicians were entertainers, then this world would be a much better place. Now, let's assume that that is a good thing. One thing I have learned anyway is that no sensible politician
can ignore entertainers. If you do so at your own risk. Indeed, one politician recently, as you know, and I've said this more than once, danced all the way through his campaign and won 250,000 votes. So now every politician is learning shaku shaku. Everyone. If you don't learn shaku shaku, you might not get very far. But you see, entertainers also cannot ignore politicians. It's impossible. You can't ignore politicians. If you do so at your own peril. Why? Politicians will soon take away all your business anyway. You heard the senator. They could very easily be anywhere making money as a comedian. And I'm sure that he's serious when he says so. But there are some who have even done better in music. I'm sure that after the release of Ajeku Yanyoje, many of you, after listening to Ajeku Yanyoje, I saw so many people trying to do all sorts of spin-offs of that Ajeku Yanyoje. But since then, the distinguished senator has moved on. Now he has released 2 other hits. One of them is Oh My Home. Oh My Home, when shall I see my home? But that didn't succeed very much. Why? Because his home is PDP. So not too many people bought it. Yeah. But don't ever ignore the politician. Don't ever. Politicians are always, you will be surprised, they are not only always going to be there in one shape or form or the other, but they are also always going to be encroaching on your space. Already we are taking a few politicians away. We are taking a few entertainers away into politics. There's Elliott just now showed up. Shino Pella is going to be running in Oyo State. And I don't know how many people know, I think it's Kenneth Okonkwo who ran for governorship in Enugu State. Yeah? One day at a time. Soon he will be the candidate. And Funke Adesina also ran. Right? So more and more are coming on board. Now, one of the important reasons why we must all participate in politics one way or the other is because this is where you can really make the change. This is where you can really make the difference. And you know, when I heard Lancelot Massimo say that we were meeting with you for the first time, you know, so late, close to elections, I was surprised. Because I don't think there's any other group of people that I personally have met with more frequently than the entertainment industry. And this is a long engagement, not once, not twice, not thrice. In fact, for those who may recall, I met with a large group of entertainers, many of who are here, looking at what we could do about entertainment, about developing policy around entertainment, looking at what the issues were. We had a long debate, and then we decided that we're going to establish something called the Technology and Creativity Advisory Council. We already have a council of businessmen, the Dangotes, the flour mills, and the different major businessmen in Nigeria. It's called the Competitiveness Council. There was no representation of entertainment or technology. We then decided, after these meetings with the entertainment industry, that we'll have, within that group, we'll have a technology and advisory group. And we set up the technology and advisory group, and there are very many, and I'll mention a few of the names of members of that technology and advisory group. So, several of them are not just industry players. Some are involved in film production, some are involved in other forms of entertainment, some are singers. And I'll mention a few of the names, just so that I can confirm to you that there are persons who are there. Well, I know Banky W is one, Waje, I believe, Mo Abudu, Bola Austin Peters, and several others. And we've held meetings 4 times at the Villa.
where we are looking at specific policies that will determine what will happen to this industry in the next few years. One of those issues that we're looking at is piracy. In fact, we commissioned a law firm, the law firm of Adepetu Martins, who are experts, to look at the whole questions around piracy, to look at the whole questions around collection, around the collection associations and collection agencies. And there's a big issue. I'm a bit surprised when I listen to people about collection. You know that there is already there's a collecting association. They have issues already. They have some problems now. I think there was they took each other to court and all that. There's a lot of money stuck in the banks. So that is already, it's something that's there. It's not. You don't need to start that again. It's already in existence. Once you're able to resolve the legal issues around it, and we're taking a look at that, because that came up at the last meeting of this advisory council. So already there's a lot going on. And one of the things, and I think that your industry also has to respond to what is happening. Information has to go around the industry. If the information isn't going around, then that cannot be the fault of those of us who are doing and working daily to make sure that this industry thrives. Why do we think that why is this important? It's important for our economy. This industry is crucial for our economy. Entertainment is big. There's no question at all that if we ignore entertainment, we ignore it at our own risk. Everywhere you turn, somebody is playing Nigerian music. Somebody is watching a Hollywood movie. No matter how we slice it, we cannot ignore the fact that this is going to be extremely big in the coming years. So we must set up the environment that will make it possible. That is why we decided at this advisory council that a group of us, and we threw open the invitation, several came along with me to Silicon Valley, because we went with a lot of people in technology, and to Hollywood. We met with all the big players, all of the big players, and all of the issues, we looked at all of the issues, with them. One of the very important things, of course, that came out of it, I heard Motola talking about I think it was the questions around signing up, that there were no, that we don't have agencies. I'm trying to recall exactly what the issue was. That we don't have agencies now, or we don't have treaties. I think it was, I'm not sure we were talking about treaties. Treaties enabling us to enter into contracts with foreign companies and all of that, especially production companies. We already have those treaties. They're already in existence, yes. We already have the treaties. You see, the point of the matter, and this is what I'm saying, there isn't enough information. There isn't enough information, and you have to find that information, because the information is relevant to your work. There's a lot of, already we have all of the necessary arrangements that are required. For example, Muabudu won a major production contract with Sony Entertainment. Now, she won, and that's on the basis that we already have entertainment treaties with the US. We have entertainment treaties with practically every one of these major countries already. There's no, everyone, the science and technology, entertainment, culture, they are under what we call the scientific and cultural treaties. All of them are under scientific and cultural treaties. It's one treaty for all. So there is no problem at all with respect to that. And people are you're able to enter into a contract with anyone that you please. When we went to Nollywood, there was a great deal of excitement. Everybody wanted to do some business with us or together. But it is not always a matter of our saying that our environment is not ready. No environment is ever completely ready. Whatever it is that we have at the moment, we can make maximum use of it and get it done. One of the reasons why we've been having all these meetings and all these interactions, and I've had no less than about 11 different interactions with the industry, is because we are constantly trying to change what we've seen. Our enabling business environment, the reason why we went into all the trouble with enabling our business environment, we moved up in 2 years, 24 spaces in the World Bank Index for enabling business. All over the world, we moved up 24 spaces. Why? Because we were focused. We did the work that was required, day by day. We were only 2 years in government when we did that. And that's the reason why your support is absolutely important. There's no, anybody can criticize. Criticisms are to a penny. We can all criticize from now till 2024. We can all continue criticizing. What we need to do is to sit together and solve the problems. Look at the problem of corruption. Look at corruption. Do you know that unless we face that problem, and I'm not talking about petty corruption, because petty corruption is what we are talking about, where some guy at the airport takes a bribe and all that. The country is where it is today because some people stole the Commonwealth. And it might be difficult for us. I mean, there are many of us who don't want to talk about it. They even keep saying to me, why are you always talking about corruption? I said, that's what brought us here. That's what created the problem we're in. That's what created it. And I'll give you 2 examples. We're spending today on something we call trader money, giving petty traders, the poorest traders, the lowest traders. We're giving them what is called trader money, 10,000 naira. When they pay back, we give them 15. When they pay back, we give them 20. These are the poorest of the poor. Their whole inventory is not more than 5,000 naira. One woman who was selling pomo at China market, I stood by her, I asked her, how much is this? She had her pomo in a bucket. I asked her, how much is this for? How much is this for? All of it, she said, well, maybe between 3,000 and 5,000. Then I asked her, how do you make profit? She didn't even answer. She just pointed to another woman standing next to her. That one had her own pomo in a bowl, small bowl. She was telling me that, look, I'm a big player here. This one, look at this one. Question, how many people are we able to give those loans? 2 million Nigerians. It costs us, let me explain this to you well. It costs us 20 billion to do that. 20 billion, just 20 billion. Compare that. One government in this country, one day, took out $292 million US and shared it. 292 million. Another, the same government, 60 billion one day, 40 billion another day. That's 100 billion. I could give, if I spend 2 million Nigerians who need credit, I give them 20 billion. I could give 10 million Nigerians, 10 million Nigerians, what a few people shared. $292 million. Where were we? Where was the industry? Where were we? When somebody shared $292 million in this same country where we're seated. Look, this is not Denmark. We're not in Sweden. In this country called Nigeria, people want to steal the resources blind. If you don't check them, if you don't stand up to them and say, you can't do this, we won't have a country. We won't have a country. Without the country, why are we worrying ourselves? Why are we worrying ourselves about the guy who is taking a bribe at the airport? All he's looking at are those who are at the top, who are stealing the country blind. We can't afford to do that. So I'm saying that unless we are all prepared to stand up and fight, stand up and say no to some of these things that are going on, we won't even have a country. We won't have a country. And that's why for me, the most important issues of all are how it is that you and I, those of us who are here, can collaborate, work together, and deliver a country that we'll all be proud of. Every one of us has a responsibility. Every one of us has a duty. That is why, if it comes to engagement with whoever it is, I'm prepared to meet with people anywhere. When I met with Waje and Co, it was in our residence here in Lagos. It was an informal meeting. We didn't go to the press. We didn't call the press. We didn't call anybody. We were about 15, 20 of us who sat in that place. And we were there for almost 5 hours, taking notes, looking at what we need to do. When I met subsequently the 3 other meetings, we held them in my house. I didn't call the press. I didn't call anybody. Why? Because this is serious business. We're not making up. We're not trying to. It's serious business. The people of our country is serious business. And we have to do it. We have to do it. If we don't do it, who will? If you and I can't do it, if we can't do it, are we going to wait for spirits? It's men and women like you and I who are going to do it. So I believe very strongly that there is plenty of room for us to do what we need to do, to work and to make sure that we're able to solve the problems. And let me just talk about, someone had talked about piracy and all of that. I think Tony had answered the question, that we are not going to solve piracy by the old ways anymore. There's no way you can police piracy. You can't be running around with police or with people trying to do that. It's technology that's going to solve piracy. It's technology. That is the reason why this video on demand is the way to go. That's the reason why it's only by technology that we can go. And we're going to make sure that once the video on demand comes on stream, and we're looking at November 14th for the first trial, at least it gives everybody an opportunity to monitor everything that's going on. To be able to say, this is the number, this is my own film, this is my music, this is what and this is how much it costs. We've got to be able to do something that all of us can see transparently, and all of us can deal with transparency. So that's the way that we intend to look at this. And whatever other suggestions there are, that is why we have this advisory group. Our advisory group is one, and all of us are welcome to make contributions to that advisory group, so that we can make life easier for ourselves and for all people in the industry. Now, I think there was another question about why we're losing out to South Africa, Morocco, and all that. Let me just say very quickly that every country of the world that wants to make a difference today must be private sector driven, not government. Government does not have the capacity to do business. They don't. All government can do is create the environment. Anywhere you go, it's the private sector that drives. And that's the reason why we're encouraging the private sector in Nigeria. That's the reason why we encourage the private sector. Okay, let's just take an example. Sorry? No. Let me explain why. Look anywhere. Successful, any industry that's successful. Even look at Nollywood. The reason why Nollywood is so successful is because it's private sector driven. What government should do is to create the environment, support it. If government leads in it, it's not going to work. We've not seen, and you can give me examples of anywhere it won't work. So what we are supposed to do is to support it. We are supposed to take it, and that is the reason why these meetings are important. In what ways can we support? What can we do? Now, let me give you one of the examples of, at some point, a large sum of money was given to the entertainment industry, right? No, many people, everybody says they don't know anything about it anymore. But at some point, a large sum of money was given, but that's neither here nor there. Now, let me tell you the issue. That's not how money should be given. That's not how. Anybody who says that I'm just going to give entertainers money isn't serious. And we should know that person isn't serious. We must have an orderly, sensible way of doing it. And that is by creating credit through the Bank of Industry, through the relevant. Now, it is interventions. We are looking at intervention funds now through the Bank of Industry. One of the discussions we've had is how the central bank can, just in the way that it does for agriculture, in the way that it's now doing for technology, can do so for the entertainment industry. But it will have to be through an appropriate channel, such as the Bank of, and that's what we're looking at, how to do that. And it has to be done in such a way that it is transparent. Everybody can benefit from it. Useful project can benefit from it. That's the way to go. But we've got to sit together and map out these things. We've got to work on it. That's the reason why we hold this meeting to the private sector. That's why we held meetings to the rice farmers, with tomato farmers, to develop policy. Today we're practically going to be self-sufficient in rice production. Maximum another 1 year will be self-sufficient. Why? Because we did the right things. We sat with the rice farmers, we took them, we gave them credit, we backed them. And that's the same way that we're going to have to do with the entertainment industry. But the entertainment industry itself must be ready to work with government. I was telling the guys at the last meeting that, look, some people are sending representatives to a meeting. I attend those meetings personally. But they are your people. There are many of them they sent representatives. One person sent a representative. Yes, I'm the one representing Mr. Big Man, I'm the one representing Mr. Big Woman. This is a serious meeting. Oh yes, it's a serious meeting where we're talking about policy. So your guys too have to be up and running. They've got to step up to the plate so that we can do this thing properly. And let me tell you something about Nigerians. We talk a lot. We talk a lot. There's nobody here who's not an expert on something. But when it comes to doing the thing, the hard work of sitting down, thinking it through, and making sure that you achieve the results is another matter. So that's why these guys who are working with me now, I'm on the phone with them, I'm checking, I'm making sure that they deliver, because we must do this thing, we must deliver. Whether we are in office, and let me say to you, whether we're in office or we're not in office, is irrelevant. Our country is bigger than any office holder. It's bigger than any office holder. You and I must be committed to the future of this country. And if we are not committed to it, who is going to help us? Who is going to do it? If we can't, if you don't do it, if I don't do it, who will do it? So I think that then there was the other question. I think somebody asked a question about. Yes, it was Mrs. Ogunbe, I think, who asked a question about censorship. Yes. I agree with you entirely that we have to be more serious about balanced censorship. But the question, of course, is always balance. Freedom of expression versus censorship and all that. But there's no question at all. There's a lot of garbage that's just all over the place. And it's not good. We can do much better. Most countries of the world have a much more serious censorship and a census board. And I think that we really just have to work harder on it. It's not an issue that we pay much attention to. And I believe that's an issue that we ought to pay attention to. Because as you said, there is so much out there that is not good for children, is not good for, even for a society that intends to bring up, young people in any kind of disciplined manner. So I agree with you entirely, but I must confess that it's not an issue that we take much attention to. But it is something that we ought to pay a lot more attention to. I'm going to read you something. I just want to read something to you. I read this in a foreign. I just read it. Because Nigerians, we talk a lot about our country and all of that. But this was something I read in some foreign literature. I'll just read it to you very quickly in a moment. It says here, I just want you to listen very carefully to what they said here. 2 main infrastructure black spots are electricity and urban facilities. The whole world now knows about the dire state of our electricity sector, especially after the serious power failure that affected most people and businesses in 2012. Power in our country is erratic, there are frequent shutdowns, peak demands exceed supply by well over 15%. Many large companies therefore produce their own costly captive power. Since small and medium-sized enterprises cannot do so, their expansion is hampered. Underinvestment has caused inadequate generating capacity until recently. But that is not the main problem, which is to be found in the distribution segment. The other problem is that most consumers don't even want to pay for power that they consume. I read this in a foreign magazine. Well, guess which country they were talking about? Sorry? Nigeria. No, India. They're talking about India, not Nigeria. When I read it, I thought, this sounds like Nigeria. The point is that India also has a power problem. 40% of India's power is private. In other words, generators, etc. 40%. but they still have an industry. They have major industry. They are doing everything despite those constraints. And I believe very strongly that no country will ever be completely ready. No country. Your infrastructure will never be completely ready. We're going to have to work with what we have, keep improving as we go along. But we can't say that because we don't have everything ready, we are not ready for business. We are already open for business. Let us not put our country down. This country is a country where you and all of us who are here have done so well so far. So well. You're well known all over the world. I'm talking about Omotola now. You even got onto the Oscars list for the committee of the Oscars. Your work here is what showed you up. And that's it for the rest of us. That's it for the rest of us. Yes. My last engagement, I was counsel in the ICC, victims counsel in the International Criminal Court. I went to school in Nigeria, primary school all the way to university. I'm a professor. By the grace of God, recognized internationally. I have worked, I have books, I have done. It is from this same place, this same country. That's what this is about. That's what it's about. That's what it's about. So I think we can. So I think there is plenty of room for us. This country is a place where not only did we grow and become who we are, but we owe it. We owe this country. We owe it. Everything that we are, we owe this country. And that's why I see the passion with which many have spoken, and many sometimes are just angry about what we could do, how far we could go. Many of us are that's why when you hear some of us talk sometimes, they're just angry. How come we haven't solved that? How come we haven't, how come? In fact, there was one day when I was talking to my wife, and I said to her, look, the government ought to do this. The government, she said, who is the government? Thank you all very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, remain in your seats. Remain in your seats. Another round of applause for our beloved Executive Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Professor Osinbajo, very well spoken. Please remain in your seats, ladies and gentlemen. At this time, please be seated. Please be seated. Please, thank you. At this time, I will ask you to stand up at the appropriate time, please. Please be seated. We want to do this orderly, in an orderly fashion. The Vice President would like to meet and greet, so to speak, in simple English. And we've asked Mr. Kenneth Okonkwo, representing the Nollywood industry, and DJ Jimmy Jat, who knows all the musicians in Nigeria, to accompany his special assistant to please just say hello to all of you. He will not be able to go around all the tables, but if you clear the pathway, he will do it on the left and on the right. Ladies and gentlemen, no noise, no noise. Mr. DJ, are we ready? Okay. This thing has to be planned properly so that there's no rush. The Vice President is on the move. Ladies and gentlemen, please sit down. take your seats. Don't make it difficult for the Vice President, please. Take your seats. Ladies and gentlemen, take your seats, please. Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen,
let me from there.
ladies and gentlemen, go back to your seats.
One nation, one Naija, oh. If you love Naija, ọwọ́ rẹ lókè.